knife.
Awesome. No, 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 as I said, like, because we do usually do Let's Play, so we can do this now, the fucking sort of talk about the ending and stuff, because we haven't done that.
Uh-huh.
But here's the thing. I know, since I know you, I'm gonna. What I think will happen is that when I give what I think the whole emperor thing was a metaphor for, right, and all of that, you will either say, it's like a flip of a coin at this point. Like, you will either say, no, 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 I can see that. Yeah, yeah, I sort of agree. Or you will go fucking full on, fucking full contrarian, and that's where the discussion will be today.
Okay.
So, are you ready for my metaphor? Are you ready for my metaphor?
Sure. Go ahead.
I think that the emperor is it's a metaphor for a particular type of abusive relationship and gaslighting, but a very particular one. It's or a very particular issue of it, and the issue is that a lot of people are in abusive relationships. Why they stay is because they remember how the person they're with. Let's take a man this way, because let's say the woman and a man, because it kind of maps on, because the emperor is revealed to be Baldurian, right? So he's a guy.
Yes.
So the thing is, like, so in this case it would be like if a woman dated this man and it was like really nice in the beginning, really cool, like he was just a great guy in the start, and then later on he becomes a monster. But the reason she stays is because she remembers like the great person he was once. So that's why she stays and why it's so hard for her to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think the story of the Emperor. Particularly, then you have other things, like the Absolute and other characters, fucking Gale, Mintara, and so on, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
think his character and that part of it was that form of gaslighting and that part of abusive relationship. That's what I think was a metaphor for.
I'm not sure though, because the problem is that that implies that the at first the emperor was like the ideal partner or something, but I have never like that was not my experience with him. Like I understand why you'd say that because he's like comically on your side in a way that it's unexplainable, but I never bought it. Like I never from the beginning thought, yeah, this person is like just my ally. There's no way. I thought that maybe they were, but I thought that yeah, no, they're setting up something here, right? So maybe my experience
Yeah,
is
for
not
sure.
like the default. Let's put it that way. But I'm not sure. Like I feel like if they tried to do it, like if they wanted to do what you're saying, they're doing, they would have the emperor like more obviously like save the main character, right? Like in a way that's not like that's obviously not just for another end, let's say. That he doesn't have like a means to an end approach to it. So maybe he doesn't need to save the main character, but he does. Um, well, from what we understand in the beginning, it isn't clear why it is that the Emperor is saving you, but it is implied that his own well being rests in his own actions and he needs you as well. So, yeah, I don't see it as a the writers trying to make the emperor seem as if his first impression is that of like this great person.
I mean, that's the thing. I sort of I hear what you're saying, but that also comes into the whole thing that art is supposed to be subjective, right? Or maybe not supposed, but I mean it is at the end of the day, right?
Mm.
So I'm not saying like there are other interpretations that could be right, but I think mine is right, obviously. But the thing is like. I guess what I would then say, right? Because you to understand what you said, like you better, because you said that if they wanted to do that, what I said, right, about abuse and the gaslighting, they
Mm-hmm.
would have made him more. They would have made the emperor be more at your side or less at your side, or would you more say like that he would do something like that? Was that would have seen. Sorry, that he would have done something that would have seemed like it was not calculated. But later on, we find out that it was very calculated.
something
Is
like
that
that.
sort
But
of?
it's more like
Hmm.
you would have to understand that this is something that uh, doesn't really benefit the emperor, but benefits you.
Okay.
And
Mm.
I feel like there should also be like an explanation, right? Because as long as you don't understand why it is that this person is helping you at all,
Mm.
you're just not gonna get like you're not gonna trust them, right? It's like it's the too good to be true thing, right? Um,
Mm.
so everything that the emperor does in the beginning, to me, is colored by this sense of, you know, not understanding where it's coming from, because I don't like I have done nothing to deserve his help. So it's coming completely. Uh, it's so good that it's suspicious. Let's put it that way. And I think that
Yeah.
the reason, like the way that you would have to, like, if you want me to trust this person, I have to uh, be benefited from him, but I have to understand why it is that he is helping me, and like the way that they portrayed it, I don't feel like it's meant to be, you know, yeah, this is the greatest guy you've ever met.
I mean, if we just if we both do this right, because we both have our own how to say biases going into this. I'm not saying on what I just said, sort of, but like how we experience fiction, right? And if we try to both pull back and you see it as objectively as we can, because what I mean with that is that in its sense, I sort of see where you're going with it, but I would also then counter with that. I mean, he does say when he is the dream visitor, right? This oh yeah, this can be so fucking complicated to understand, to explain. I mean, that when he's the dream visitor, he says, because you ask him, "Hey, why are you helping me?" and he says, "No, I want freedom like you, but I'm." I don't know if he says he's trapped in there, but that he has to be there, but that we need to beat the absolute and we need to be free, and that's why I'm helping you. That's why I'm your ally.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what I'm getting at here, and I think you understand, is that for the average player, when they wrote that, wouldn't that be enough for them? You think?
I have
I'm not
no
saying
clue.
you, but the average player.
Honestly, if you hang out in the Baldur's Gate 3 community, you realize that the average player is not very smart. And so maybe
Man, that come on, man, that was a little mean.
it's not
I
mean.
know how
It's
regular.
true, though.
I mean, that's the thing. Okay, now I feel like I'm up against a wall because I would have said the same thing about Titan folk, right? So
Um,
I hate this. I hate that to give you the V on this. I
the
hate you
average
for that.
Titanfolk reader is not the
Fuck you.
average Attack on Titan reader, so uh, you have to understand that some communities have niche circles which are uh, have better reading comprehension than the average. But go ahead.
Yes, okay, but the Reiner had the best one. They both like
Yes,
yeah, they understood.
they
They understood
actually read
that
the
the whole
story,
point of the
which is
story.
something that many other communities can't be sad about.
Here's the thing: they understood, or sorry, I mean, we understood that the whole point of Attack on Titan was to show that Conrad was the hero of the story. Conrad was the reason. He was the start. He was the end. He was the hero of the
Is
story.
Conrad Connor?
You don't know that?
I mean, I haven't
That's
like
what
been
they
on a
call him.
K-Buddy Reiner ever since I needed karma to raid Titanfall. I never
But
liked
here's the
that
thing.
place.
Of course you didn't. You don't. You lack humor. Okay, okay, that was me. Sorry. Anyway, the point is that
I just have too
I
many
know
brain
he was
cells
called.
to appreciate their humor. But go ahead.
Ah, yes, the high IQ humor of Titan folk.
Look, all I'm gonna
Haha, you
say
can't
is when I
understand.
tried to make a meme for a K-Buddy Reiner to make it to the front page, I was able to. It's not that I can't, it's just that I don't like it.
But anyway, he was also just final point is that he was either called Conrad or he was called Comer. That was the two words he had.
Uh-huh.
That's what you call him, Comer or Conrad. That's sort of two words to use. But yeah, but anyway, but with that said, I would say that here's the thing: I haven't looked into it, so you might be right that the average Baldur's Gate free player is a retard. I would doubt it, but because I mean,
I mean, they hate the
if we
Emperor. Of
look at
course they're
other
retarded.
Samudians, here's the thing: I don't hate him.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm not
don't.
saying you're the
Yeah,
average,
yeah,
Baldur's
yeah,
Gate 3
no, that's not
player.
what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I'm saying that I have seen on Twitter and other places, like, and also Japanese community a little, that they seem to be more, understand it's a nuance to his character, and
It's
I
also
think
the
that there's like
Japanese love squids, so there's that.
I mean, it's their perfect husband, right? The emperor's their perfect husband. So,
Yes, yes, I guess.
I don't, anyway, what I'm getting at, I have. So I mean, you could be right, but you could also be wrong. Maybe if I looked at other communities and stuff, they're not like that. But so you would say, but then if let's say I accept what you're saying is true that the average, well, I don't, caveat, 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 but let's say I go with you and say, okay, the average Baldur's Gate 3 player is a fucking retard.
Mhm.
Would that not then have been enough for them? The thing
Yes,
I said.
I guess so. Yes.
Hmm. Yes, but I would also say because here's the thing, right? Because I wanted to because I think I told you how because I already know your ending, like because what you did is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that this is the first we're talking about our first playthroughs here because otherwise it gets muddled too
Hmm.
much because I've
Yes.
already done. But we're talking about our first playthroughs, and you, for reference, like we're doing in our normal Let's Play, I played a Wood Elf Bard that looked exactly like that actually,
Hmm.
and you played as a wizard, a half elf
Yes.
wizard, right? Okay, and you
Yes,
got the
that's right.
ending where you run everything, like you trick the emperor, right? And
Uh-huh.
to get the crown, and then
Mhm.
you run Baldur's Gate or the
Yes.
Sword Code, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So my ending was like this: I have gotten the Orphic Hammer. And then the Emperor gives me a choice and said, "No, I need to eat Orpheus in order to save us from the brain."
Hmm.
And I put my trust into the Emperor. And there's a caveat here because I told you this before, just so you know it. If you think it's retarded, that's fine, but just know this is what I came into the situation with, is that I had this memory of reading about the Elder Brains, before the game came out, obviously.
Hmm.
That, and I got this lore part wrong, but I thought it was right, and then I didn't look up if it was right or not because I didn't want to get spoiled. So that's the context. And what I remembered is that the elder brain can grant wishes. That's what I remembered, but I guess I was completely fucking wrong about that lore. So I know I'm wrong now.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, okay, so if I can commandeer the elder brain, I can, or get the crown of Karsus, I can transform the emperor back to their fucking angelic waifu I
Oh,
created.
right. I remember now. You told me that.
Yeah, so if I could, and here's the thing, if they had given me, if this is like in 20 years, right, when AI has gotten to that point where you can do this, and I would have chosen to indeed turn him into a woman, like the angelic waifu, because it fits. The punishment must fit the crime, right? And he
Hmm.
did trick me. He did fucking trick me.
So you're gonna make him
So
into your sex slave. So he's
no, no,
punished
no, no, no,
for tricking
no,
you.
not a sex slave. Only if he
No?
wants to. Only if he wants to. No,
Right.
but here's the thing. Okay, so what I would have done, right, is that I would have turned him into this dream visitor shape for simple fact that it fits the punishment that he tricked me and all my friends, or like Gale and all of those
I
people.
guess you copy your sense of morality from hags, I guess?
Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
No,
you
but to
wanted
be
to
fair,
be a woman and tricked me. Okay, I'm gonna make you into a woman now. It's like, yeah, that's very
yes,
anti-atoll of you.
yes. To be fair, no, not quite, because Auntie Ethel actually, like, she just does it to people who doesn't deserve it. Because the
Uh,
people who've done these,
I
I
mean,
mean, come on,
no,
they're
I
not
think
that
that
bad.
the people she did it to were people who betrayed her, actually, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really? I mean,
Yeah,
then it's like,
I
it's on
remember
you.
at
That
least
is
in
on
one
you
of the
people this up.
cases she was betrayed. She was like, "Oh, she wanted to bring up a genius, but the bitch double crossed me." So, and then I don't remember what was the punishment, but bottom line,
Mm.
she was betrayed, so that's why she did it.
she was sentenced to read Demon Slayer for the rest of her life.
She
Shit.
was sentenced to do the Mayrina quest again.
Anyway, the thing is like, I mean, if the double quest they're fine, then that's on them for being retards. So you know.
Mhm.
But the thing is like with the, I think it would have fitted. That's what I have done. But since that's not possible, and you're standing there at the sunset, you know, I was like, nah, I will not be a fucking mind flayer. So I killed myself.
Uh,
Uh,
what?
and I will say
Wait,
that
wait, what? What do you mean you killed yourself?
at the end of the game, I killed myself.
But when exactly? At what point?
No, no, okay. So what happens is, I don't know if you've done this, but you can become a mind flayer, right? And to wield
Yes.
the stones.
Yes.
And so I wield the stones, and then I tell the, you know, the absolute to kill itself. I'm a bard. It's in our nature, okay? That's what we do all the time. So I
Uh-huh.
tell it to kill itself and kill all the tadpoles. And then at the end, and it was actually really good. I actually liked the ending a lot, and it fits the bard aesthetic that you kill yourself. It feels because that's what artists do, right? Not to be mean, but it's very common, you know.
Um.
So the thing is, like, here's the thing: it fits the aesthetic. So I was there, and then Shadowheart, because I was in the Shadowheart romance, right, at my first playthrough. Then she
Mhm.
says, "Oh, something about mind flayers. Oh, not that it's bad to be a mind flayer or something." She says, and I said, "I did what I had to do." And then you go up and see. Have you seen that ending, by the way? The good ending, if you're a mind flayer. Have you seen that ending?
I feel like the good when I did the good ending, I wasn't a mind flayer. So tell me,
Mm.
what is it?
So what happens is that you stand and you look out of, and it's really beautiful. Like that scene is really beautifully made in terms of like mise en scène and everything. Because you look at, you know, sunrise and everything, and then the narrator says, "You're a mind flayer now. Will you? What will you do?" The emperor said that he got some, you know, free will of his own, but will you risk it? Something to this effect. And then you get choices to either stay in the shape, do nothing, essentially just live your life, or to go to prison, or like, you know, lock yourself up, or you get the choice to kind of keep being a mind flayer, but if you feel yourself slipping away, then you will end it. Or
Yes.
I'm too much of a danger. I will end myself now, and I
Yeah.
chose to end myself now.
Uh-huh.
And I will say there's two parts. When Shadowheart cried, because she cries like, you know, screams no when you do it. That was actually okay. That was good. That was it. Let's just say it was a good. It was good. And then a
Her
story
voice
on
actress is
space.
way too good.
What do you say?
Her voice actress is way too good.
Yes, she's fantastic. And then I would say a story on space when you do it. That hurt more than Shadowheart crying, because he actually looks like shocked and sad. Sorry, I can't pronounce that at all. Shocked and sad, and uh, and like, you know, because he has so big eyes, like the terror in his eyes, it was actually really well done. And then, but the problem is, and this is where the game fucks up the ending so bad, is that right if you do that, then Karlach dies right after you, and then
Yes.
everyone is seem more sad about her dying than you, which is like, okay, I mean, shouldn't everyone like be fucking terrified that you know?
The way.
Shouldn't everyone? I'm the
Okay.
main character, Leo. I'm the fucking main character. Don't fucking forget that in
Yes.
this playthrough. In our playthrough, we're both the main characters. In this playthrough, I am the fucking main character, okay?
Here's the
So
thing.
that's why I got angry about it.
I'm pretty sure that the way that the characters react is completely fucking like unmeasured because very often, you know, for Astarion, for example, he just fucking starts burning and no one cares because he's a vampire apparently. So it doesn't matter that you had like, you know, a billion adventures where you each save each other's lives. Uh, I guess since he's a vampire, him dying to the sun is like funny. Um,
Yeah,
Karlach is obviously like they fucked up, right? Because she's meant to be saved. Like that was one
yeah.
of the endings that, and it was supposed to be the normal ending. She's saved. She
Mm.
isn't saved, and she's unsavable because apparently the region that you're supposed to get the stuff needed to save her is the upper city of Baldur's Gate 3. and the upper city was cut out of the game because it wasn't finished until
Uh,
release. Yes, so
DLC, I guess.
yeah, and
DLCs
so
looks like her. I don't know, continue.
I mean, there's a lot of content which was cut out, which is why so
I
many of the
know.
endings, like I'll tell you my ending, right? My first playthrough ending is the Emperor is controlling. I mean, sorry, it's not the Emperor. I am controlling the brain because I didn't trust the Emperor to control the brain for me, and also because a mind flayer is like this being of intelligence. Like this is like the stat that he uses mostly, and I'm a wizard which also uses intelligence, and so like, and I was like playing this guy which was like I want as much power as I can get because that
Mm.
was like how I was playing the game. So I felt, yeah, becoming a mind flayer actually makes sense because my character actually won't care if I'm like becoming evil or whatever. He cares more about the power
Mm.
than anything else. And
Yeah.
so I became one, and I controlled the brain after defeating it. And then I had the option to destroy all the tadpoles or control the elder brain and use it to like rule Faerun, right, or the Sword Coast at least. And that's what I chose. And then what happens is there's like a wave of psychic energy, and a bunch of mind flayers start killing a bunch of guards, and my companions are mind controlled, and they start clapping while I sit on a throne. And I'm like, okay, what else? Like this was 15 seconds, right? I'd expect more than 15 seconds for the ending of the game,
What?
and it
Okay, fine. What the fuck?
yes,
Okay.
I expected that there would be like a like for example, I did essentially the same thing in my fourth playthrough, but I had Mintara, right? And Mintara was all like very supportive of me taking over the world. She was like, "This is the time we've been waiting for, my love. Rule the Elder Brain." Uh, and then I did it, right? But then she's also mind controlled. Like I don't even get the option not to mind control Mintara, even though she's 100% on board with me being like the new ruler of the world. But I have to mind control her too, and then she has to clap for me like the others. It's like it doesn't feel sufficiently differentiated. Like, what is the like point of having Mintara be one of the people who are actually on board with you ruling the world if you have her in your party and you don't get something different when you do rule the world? It's like
I mean,
I
actually,
hope you
here's the
understand
thing.
what I mean, right? It's like
Yeah,
if
yes,
you're
yes, yes,
going
yes. No,
to
no.
go to the trouble of making things feel different depending on which companions you have, you should like tailor the endings according to the path you took. It shouldn't be just about, well, let's have the same ending but you have like a different face on who is clapping. That's not how it's supposed to be.
No, I might actually, because I actually sort of find it interesting. So I will actually just try it to see what it looks like when I get there in my second playthrough.
It's very
But
short. I mean, it's not bad. I actually felt good about the ending my first playthrough. Um, but
But then,
the
yeah,
problem
but
is
then
that
did
I
you see the number now? That it's like much better, like actually, or like much longer, more thought out.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
would have been pissed. I would have been pissed.
and it's not just that. It's more like I thought that maybe if I made different choices, I would have like a similar ending but different. But no, it's always the same basically. So I feel a bit robbed. I felt that the reason the ending was short was because there would be like many different endings, and then
Mm.
I would accept, right? Because you can't have like 100 endings and all of them are going to be very long. But I felt that if there's like I either have short endings which are varied, or I have a few long endings, but I had neither. So
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I see that point. Actually, that point I see clearly. The thing, because I mean, if you have shorter endings, yeah, that makes sense. But did you see the Gale ending, like when he blows up?
I
Have you
actually
seen that one?
never got to it because I always, I mean,
Forget?
no, it's more like on my fourth playthrough. I mean, my first playthrough I didn't have Gabe, I never found him.
Yes.
Uh, in my rest the rest of my playthroughs, I didn't bother talking with Gale because I wasn't very interested in the story. Because I still had a lot of stuff I wanted to do, so I didn't actually pursue his story. And then on my third, I did, but then he was like, I never got to it, like, because I was able to do the other thing without resorting to his stuff, and I was like, well, why would I kill
No,
Gale
in
like
Moonrise Towers.
deliberately, right? Oh,
No, in
yes, I had
Moonrise
the
Towers.
option, but I convinced him not to do it, basically. And
Dude, you should have.
oh,
Dude, you need to save someone's life.
what the fuck? My fucking I think my headphone's connected, and now you're on fucking speakers. Great. Give me a second.
Hello, Brazil. I come in peace.
You can talk, by the way. It's just gonna sound weird on the stream.
Oh, that was fine.
Okay. I never. I didn't play it, so I don't know. Like, what happens exactly?